Hi, I'm Srividya Samagrithi. Welcome to my blog of the Everest Base Camp. In my previous video, we went to Chhukhung, and in this video, we shall visit the Kongma Pass. Kongma Pass, the defining day that changed our course. Whenever I told anyone that I'm going to the Kongma Pass, people would look at me like, Kongma Pass? And that expression intimidated me the most. When I booked the 3 passes trek, I knew this is difficult, but I never knew how difficult it would be. That's why I took 1 year time. I felt if we practice well, we should achieve the impossible. That was the level of confidence that I had. But it was only after I started the trek I knew what was in store for me. And oblivious of the complexity of this route, I booked the 3 passes trek. I am beyond 50 years of age and a first timer. If I was younger, it is still fine. If you are above 50 and if you are new to trekking, think about it. There is a lot of risk involved in the high passes trek. It is well known that many solo trekkers who attempted the pass with GPS have got lost in the descent and they have even lost their lives to the mountains. I was repeatedly telling my husband that it would be a miracle if we reach home alive after this trek. You will definitely understand my fear after watching this video fully. We woke up at 3:30 a.m. in the morning, breakfast at 4:15. I had a bowl of cornflakes and hot chocolate in pitch darkness with our head torches on. My guide, my husband and myself started our trek at 5:10 a.m. in the morning. We could not see anything. It's day 8. 5 a.m. in the morning. We are leaving Chhukhung. We are going to Kongma. Getting a true sense of the expedition today. I almost bumped into a frozen rivulet. It was only after my guide who screamed to warn me that I realized the existence of a bridge over the rivulet. Okay. The sun was out at 6:30 a.m. but the entire region was covered with fog and mist. Chhukhung is at 4730 meters. It was a straight steep climb up to 5535 meters with no fixed trail. Is there a river flowing underneath these rocks? It is very scary. The previous day, my guide's friend trekked this route. He marked the rocks with arrow marks so that we can follow this route the next day. Usually 400 to 500 people trek to the Everest Base Camp daily, but just a handful of people trek to the Kongma Pass. The reason for this is the extraordinary complexity involved in this route. In total, 8 of us trekked to Dingboche via Kongma Pass on that dreadful day. Apart from my husband and myself, there were 3 Germans, a lady from Romania, 2 other trekkers along with their guide, and our guide Dragon Rai was with us. Sometimes the rocks gave way and our trekking poles sunk into these rocks. My guide told me not to be too dependent on the trekking poles. The rocks are loose over here, very loose.
And it's better you don't depend on your poles.
Okay. Weighed down by the snow on our jackets, on our backpack, on our gloves and our shoes, and 4 liters of water, we trekked very slowly. And there are no restrooms on the way. We had to make do behind the rocks. Our guide Dragon Rai was constantly checking on us. He always focused on our safety and well-being. He went out of the way to make sure that we were comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
By 12 p.m., we started feeling absolutely famished. So we had our packed lunch, which was a single chapati with butter and jam. I opened the aluminium foil expecting it to be hot, but I felt I took it out of a freezer. My guide says that we should not stop here and we need to move fast.
Here you can see this landslide area, so it's better to keep walking.
Yeah?
Here, okay?
Okay. Okay.
I was just trying to imagine, what if there was a mishap? Say I fell down or I twisted my ankle and I can't walk further, what next? If anything went wrong, there wasn't a soul to help us. There is no means of communication here. There is no network, SIM cards don't work here. There is no way one can communicate to the outside world. That makes this place extremely dangerous.
After climbing up for 2.5 hours, there is zero visibility now. You can't see anything. It's all covered with fog. Can we see Kongma once we go up?
No.
We can't.
We can't. Even from up there, we have to go more further.
Okay.
At 1 p.m. we sighted the Kongma lake and the pass above.
That's the Kongma Pass. And we are at 5450 meters.
It was a steep climb to the pass amidst layers of huge rocks. Dragon sensed that I will not be able to climb with my backpack, so he took my backpack. Actually, porters don't carry the guide's luggage. The guide will have to carry his own backpack. He carried his backpack, my backpack, and not only that, later during the day when my husband got tired, he took my husband's backpack as well. The guides are superheroes. Without them, we cannot do anything. The life of the guides and porters are way tougher than what we imagine. We reached Kongma Pass at 1:45 p.m. It is nothing but layers of hard rocks with brightly colored Tibetan prayer flags strung across the pass. We could see Dingboche at the other side.
Dingboche. It's all cloudy there. Khumbu Glacier.
Yeah, that's before Dingboche.
Okay.
I was so happy because the trek till now was so grueling. From then on, we would start our descent. I felt that the descent wouldn't be so demanding. But little did I know that the actual struggle would start here. Unfortunately, due to the freezing cold, the batteries in my gadgets drained out. I didn't have any energy to stop and change the batteries. I also didn't want to waste my time in taking breaks for photography and videography. I thought we would reach Dingboche in 4 to 5 hours, but the trek down seemed unending.
These are some of the unknown peaks.
Narrow ledges and heavy snow in between the rocks made our trek pole sink and the rocks dislodged.
Oh, my shoe got wet.
Step on rocks.
I had a few falls. I don't even remember how many times my husband fell. There was a heavy snowfall with biting cold wind and the temperatures went to minus 25 degrees Celsius. My husband was affected by bronchospasm. He had 35% lung involved in grade 5 corax in May 2020. It seems that lungs don't recover once they are affected by COVID. He was breathing heavily and wheezing. He couldn't walk properly. He was swaying from one side to the other. He fell down every now and then and he broke his trekking poles as well. I was completely helpless. If it was any other day, I would have thrown 1,000 tantrums. But looking at his condition, I didn't dare to utter a single word. I was just praying that we reach Dingboche as quickly as possible. By 5 p.m., we were halfway down. Further down, there was a river, then a climb up, and then a climb down to the glacier. We were depleted of all our energy. My husband was feeling hungry. I just didn't feel anything. No hunger, no pain. My brain was just telling me one thing. We need to reach Dingboche ASAP. It became dark by 5:45 p.m. Guided by the light from our headlamps, we took short steps. The guides usually see the town and walk towards that direction. But here, Dragon couldn't see anything. The range of the light from our headlamps is just 3 meters. Dragon has been a guide for 7 years, but in his 7 years, this is just his 4th visit to Kongma Pass. That's because this is not a frequently visited place. The crowd goes to EBC, not to Kongma Pass. Only few crazy people like us go to Kongma Pass. Fortunately, the previous day, Dragon told our porter Jeevan to come towards Kongma Pass to help us. Jeevan had gone to Dingboche through the easier route. Jeevan came towards the direction of Kongma Pass from Dingboche. Dragon was screaming his name at this end and he couldn't hear there. We had to cross a glacier. I've seen glaciers in Antarctica and Iceland. So when Dragon told me that we have to do a glacier hike, I was cool. I thought that okay, we have to trek in the snow. But here I couldn't believe what I saw in front of my eyes. There were huge boulders and the glacier was underneath the boulder. I was just aghast. How am I going to cross these glaciers? And above all, how is my husband going to cross these glaciers? He's already struggling to breathe because of his bronchospasm. Dragon had already informed his friends that he would be getting 2 middle-aged people and we would need help. Chiran and Manish came for help at 8 p.m. First, they helped me cross these boulders. I put my hand around Chiran's shoulders and he guided me. He said, you put your left leg here in this rock, you put your right leg there in that rock, and Manish was there on the higher side of the rock and he pulled me up. When I was halfway through the glacier, Manish and Jeevan helped me while Chiran went back to help my husband. Chiran asked my husband, how much do you weigh? And my husband said, I'm 67 kgs. He said, don't worry, I can carry you. They literally hauled him up over the icy boulders and that's how we crossed the glacier. It took 1.5 hours for us to cross the glacier. Unfortunately, in that tension, I couldn't capture the picture of the place. It was so thoughtful of Chiran and Manish to get us ginger lemon honey tea. Even Dragon was drained out completely. The tea helped us to gain a little bit of energy to trek up to Dingboche. But the path to Dingboche was not easy either. It was full of ups and downs through the rocks. Jeevan and Dragon helped me to trudge through these rocks to Dingboche. My husband was supported by Manish and Chiran on both the sides. He put his entire weight on both of them as his tired legs took short steps. He was wheezing heavily. We reached Dingboche at 11:15 p.m. Can you imagine? 18 hours of non-stop trekking except the 10-minute break that we took for lunch and at Kongma Pass. We had noodle soup. I couldn't take more than 5 sips. My husband, being a doctor, knew that he needed those calories and he finished the entire soup completely. My husband's oxygen levels reduced to 59. I was perturbed. Chiran told my husband that maybe he is affected by pulmonary edema. My husband was the only doctor around, and ironically, he was a patient too. He said he would lie down. If it is pulmonary edema, the liquid in the lungs would try to come up and he wouldn't be able to breathe. He would then need medical attention. He said if he slept well, then he would be alright the next day. He slept well and his oxygen levels went to 73 the next morning. This is a picture of me taken the day after I trekked to the Kongma Pass. Thanks to Kongma Pass, my face looks beyond recognition. The next day we rescheduled our plan. Dragon said that the other two passes, Chola and Rinjola, would be as challenging as the Kongma Pass. It's just that the altitude could be a little lower. We didn't want to take any risk in this bad weather. We decided not to do the other two passes. We decided to take a day's rest and then go to EBC and then start our descent to Lukla. At Dingboche, there are only oxygen cylinders and no medical service. If serious, a patient has to be shifted by a pony to the nearest helipad at Gorakshep and then flown to Lukla. Kongma Pass is known for her jaw-dropping views. On a sunny day, one can see 4 8,000ers from here. But for us, due to the inclement weather, there was absolutely no view. But at the end of the day, I feel so proud of myself that I conquered the Kongma Pass. If you enjoyed watching this video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell button. Watch this space for my next episode of the Everest Base Camp. Take care and bye.